From dark tunnels to winged lighten, from a small-minded creature to a titan, from cloudy ways to Chevron stages with greats, embracing the better days, no longer afraid of the pythons. Give the glory, let me tell my story. Found solutions to my problem, solving all my worries.
Okay, hello my people, back once again with another podcast. Walk a mile in my shoes. Your host for today, Nathaniel James, and today we have a special guest with me. Goes by the name of
Iama Pharoah.
Iama Pharoah. Yo, respect for coming on the show, my brother.
Yes, my bro.
Yeah,
No
man has a
problems.
respect every time.
Yeah,
So,
blessings.
as we always start, just a little brief explanation of yourself and your background and where you're coming from.
Rapper from Birmingham. Been rapping since friggin', as you know, from young or whatever. So, brief time away and so forth on holiday, Queen's holiday.
Queen's holiday. We'll go into that.
Yeah. And then back now doing certain things, positive music, real music. I'm sick of all the stupidness that's out there and so forth. Not dissing anyone, just saying there's a lot of fake music that's not really giving no substance or no light to anything. So for me, I kind of miss that and just literally stay in my lane. So you know how it goes.
Okay, so well, it's good to have you back in the music scene. For those who don't know, he's been
man.
on this music scene for a very long time. A very seasoned artist. Yeah, coming with a lot of substance and flavors. Yeah, that and it's got a positive message.
Yeah.
Behind it as well. So let's take it back to childhood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was your upbringing like? What was your culture like growing up?
I think culture is important. I think culture is what's missing in a lot of kids nowadays. I think when I was growing up, I think we had vinyls. You remember
Yes,
vinyls
man,
back in the
come
day?
on.
Oh my God, we had vinyls, and to be fair, very music in the household. I used to listen to Ray Charles when he was younger on vinyl and different soul music and so forth, which a lot of the kids are missing nowadays. They just listen to the narrative of nowadays. If you actually look back at history of music and so forth, you can get a lot more flavors and understanding of music if you look back. You know what I'm saying?
I think when you look back as well, a lot of the music that's out here now has been sampled
and it's remixed.
from a lot of them old school songs.
There's nothing new nowadays. It's literally remixed from. I can literally take samples from Etta James and them kind of artists, Ella Fitzgerald and so forth, which people won't know about, old soul singers. And you'll hear in the music today. There's so much remixes. So I think if we don't learn our musical history, then it's hard to progress forward because you just make the same kind of dead music over again. And you need something new and flavorful. So I think if you take all aspects of music, because I just don't like one genre, I like all genres, and you put it all into one melting pot and you make the best music ever. So that for me is very important.
So
Culture.
that was your musical influences growing up, was the old school soul,
hip hop
music with a meaning,
reggae.
What
Reggae
kind of
was
hip hop artists did you listen to? growing up?
Young was obviously a Biggie, Tupac, Big L, oh God, Big Pun.
Yeah.
So proper. Do you know what it is with me? And I think what's missing, there's a lot of things missing.
That's cool. You can touch
There's a lot of
that,
things
brother.
missing, bro, for me. But a lot of miss is lyrical content. And nowadays, even especially younger generation, they don't listen to the words, bro. And I'm like, you don't listen to the words. Like, So I say, nah, it's just the beat, just the beat.
Yeah.
So people are allowed, and I think the industry's allowed a lot of foolishness into the industry to not hold accountable for their own words or actions as well. For me personally, I think a lot of people are saying certain things, and I'm saying you're not G-checking that. Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because you're not even reiterating where that's coming from, or are they speaking truth or knowledge? Because anyone can go and up block this, up block that, stab a man down, and you're thinking, huh? Like I don't understand how you're allowing certain musical influences into your life. Because remember, your diet's not just what you eat.
Yeah.
It's what you listen to.
Yeah.
It's what you are seeing and so forth. So I think with that aspect, when you allow certain concepts of music into your life, and you're not even questioning, like, is he talking real or is he just capping? Because for me, if you're talking about stabbing, killing, shooting, and you haven't lived that, for one, I think that there is baffling. Number two, if you are doing that and you're talking about it, that's even more baffling. I'm thinking, bro, why are you talking about that?
Yeah, you self-snitching.
Why are you doing it? I'm saying, because obviously, as I said, being in Queen's Holiday I got 11 years sentence, do 5.5. So I've been in a wing with lifers that have actually done them things, you know what I'm saying? Well, murders and so forth. 35 recs, for people who don't know what a rec is, it is a recommended sentence. So if you get a 35 rec, that means you are recommended to do 35 years before anything. That's before parole, and obviously you don't get your first parole normally. And then your next parole is like every 3 years. Some people extra 5. It depends on your conditions and whatever. Okay? So when I'm speaking to people that I actually know, that I still speak to today, do you know what I'm saying, that are actually in Long Lartins and Franklins and them kind of jails and whatever, that's actually done certain things, they would never speak about certain things that they've done. They would never do that. Even on the wing, when I'm talking to them as a brethren, they wouldn't.
Is that due to like G code, or is that more?
I just think that's more sensible in an aspect of, and some people, people I've spoke to, a lot of them are like, yo, I don't want to talk about that because that's a part of their life they want to kind of forget. They want to try and elevate from that and say, look, that was a part of mistake, that I made a mistake. And when I realised I made a mistake, but now you're doing 35 years in jail, that's a whole concept to deal with, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So
it's low vibration or going back to where you was, and you're trying to, and then it's that realisation once again.
Yeah, of course, because
so you'd have to realise, I'm here for 35 years.
That's your life.
It was something that I look back at now and I regret.
And you're thinking, over what? Postcode, or over what? A box of food, or what? What am I doing? What was that about? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think as you grow, I think you get to see things a lot more differently, and you look back. And as I said, I've always said to everyone, what you do now will basically affect you during the future. So as in my charge happened in 2012, and then in 2014 my door come off. So I say to all the youths and even my brethren and whatever, I say to them, listen, what you do now affects you for the future. It might not happen like 1 year time. It might not manifest in 2 years time, but I guarantee what you do now, I swear to God, it'll happen like in 3 years time, 4 years time, it'll manifest. So we have to be careful of what we listen to, who we give our time to, who we give our energy to. And I think even for me, as I said, my son's 8. So when I'm in the car and he's listening to certain songs that come on the radio, even his now's like, Dad, turn it off, that's food. And he's 8 because my mindset is like, why am I feeding him that foolishness? I wouldn't, bro. I seen a thing the other day on can't really say no names, but what's her name? What's that artist from America? Cardi B. When she's a daughter coming and she's saying, she turned the WAP song off. That's her WAP song. That's one of the biggest songs, whatever. And for me, that I clocked a lot of things, and I'm saying, how is not everyone seeing that? If she won't let her own daughter listen to the song about wet ass, but then you want to put that into the media, and then you got your little kids at home doing this on the floor, and I'm saying, bro, but when that song comes out, even my daughter's like, nah, turn it off. I won't have that energy to say, that's okay for her, but it's not okay. No.
But this is...
And I think that's where the problem is. I think we don't hold people accountable for things. And we let everyone... The industry's so flooded with so much bullshit. And it's like, how are you even letting these people in to even... Do you know what I'm saying? Because the platform now is big. You can make your own platform, which is the truth. Before, when we was rapping, when we was younger, in college and so forth, and going to music shows and do performances, you had to have A&Rs and briefing. You had to email... So different records. It's so much work. But now the platform, because of YouTube and Insta, and the platform is your own, which is a good thing. But because we're so techie now, I think it's just flooded with loads of. I sit there and I listen to music thinking, boy, where's it gone? It's kind of left, bro.
So touching upon that before we go on to another topic was, when you're basically saying about people that are making music, they're kind of gaslighting, they're not living the life that they're living and stuff like that. Do you think that they should be held accountable? Because I feel like when we was younger, we had, like I always say, who are your role models? And some kids will probably say like obviously I don't listen to drill like that, do you know what I mean? But they'll probably say a drill artist name. I'm not going to mention any names that I know of because I don't listen to them like that, so they might have different music. But it's like, if they was to ask me who was your idol growing up, I'd be like, man like Ian Wright, like Thierry Henry, like people that I could kind of like look to and identify with.
And inspire to be.
Especially Ian Wright, when he was kind of in a time where there wasn't many black footballers.
There you go.
We all wanted to be a footballer.
Yeah, of course.
Who could be aspired to.
That's why a lot of old black people, like even my mum, supports Arsenal. She don't watch football in life. She's like, Ian Wright. Ian Wright stopped playing football time ago. What are you about? Like, but because in her head, she's like, black footballer. So and I get that's what I'm saying. So I think we've lost a lot of understanding of who you should be looking up to, because as I said, as a conscious artist, I don't even call myself a conscious rapper, but I'm saying as a person with a little bit of substance, giving you something that's out of the norm. A bit more positive, a bit more understanding, your own history, understanding your own self. When you hear certain things that's not that, it's very hard for me to listen to.
Yeah, of course.
Because my mind state is completely different now. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So if you're talking about you want to run down the road and stab a man in the neck, when I've seen certain things, I've been in situations where people put machetes to my neck and certain things, and I'm sitting there thinking, how are you promoting that, bro? I don't get it. And if you've come from that life and you know what that life does,
it's even worse.
That's worse, bro. Because as I said, I've had family members that have been stabbed and died, and as yourself, and I've had brethren that are still in there that have done certain things, and not mention no names or certain things. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that in a deeper concept because I've seen that, I've lived it, I understand it. So it would be literally contradictory for me to come out and say, I could literally come out and chat the most west. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'll put burners in your face. But no, why would I do that? That's madness, bro. That's a whole different, that's a 360. A 360, then 180, then going back again. That's dumb.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I think it's stupid.
There was a great point that you put there. This is what bringing me to say this to you. I don't know if you've seen it, but there was another podcast where an artist went on there, and he was quite an established drill artist, and he was like, "I ain't on road. I don't live that life.
I've seen it bare times.
That's what my listeners listen to and want."
See, this is what I'm saying, and I think it comes down to human psychology as well in that aspect. Because when I was learning a little bit about psychology, they were saying that the human brain and the human mind, some way, it's wired to remember the bad more than the good.
Okay.
And how he put it to me was, if you walk down the road and you see a woman crossing the road, and someone held her bags and held, it's like, that's nice. But when we was younger, if I seen your mum out and she had a shopping, I'd say, yo, mumsy, come. That was normal.
That's normal.
Back then, nowadays, these youths will try and run up and kick a bag. I'm saying, bro, what go on? But I'm saying the human brain, if someone got run over in the middle of the road, you remember that more than the old woman that was crossing the road. So the human brain's wired. So some of these artists that I've personally been around and in the cells with and whatever, they're not them kind of guys, bro. They haven't done that crud. But then they would feed the narrative to you, and you'll say, run up on a man and shank him and blah. But they're not living that life. But now you're taking it as gospel, like that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And they'll get millions of views, and they'll get millions of status, and then you talk about something that's actually happening, and no one's listening. That's weird to me, bro. And that shows the wiring of what's happened with our generation and down. And what happens is, it's the sadness about it, because the next generation down from it, it's going to be worse, bro.
I feel like they're desensitized to a lot of things. Like, they'll show you something and laugh at the fact that they're showing you, and I'll watch it like, well, that person got stabbed. And it was by my man, and they're so excited by and they're intrigued by it, and then they'll come in the next day, this person done such and such. I've made a conscious choice to stay away from Snapchat. I feel like that's where there was a massive change in society.
See, when I went to jail, there was no Snapchat. That's the worst thing about it. So when I come out, I was like, what's Snapchat?
Because when people telling me what's Snapchat, and then I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, bro, like, people are just like changing up their face. People are just doing videos. I'm at this location, and I'm like, but why would you want people to know where you're at? So if you got an issue with somebody and they know you're and this is what people are doing.
Because the new generation is very techie, so it's all and as I said, technology runs our life now. So we cannot literally function without technology no more. That's the stage you got to. But when it gets used for a negative aspect, that's when I have a little bit issue with it. I'm thinking, if you can use a platform and you can use technology to do something positive or financial gains and so forth, that's brilliant.
That's brilliant,
But when it comes to a stage where people are using social media to interact with certain people and giving false narrative, but not doing what they're saying, that I'm like, how are you even... No one's questioning it. It's weird to me how no one asks no question no more, and not listen to the words, as we've come back to as well, where you can literally say anything on a tune and no one will question whether that's true. No one will question whether... I'm not saying every song has to be deep. I'm not saying every song has to be of some sort of groundbreaking... Do you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if you're giving a 7 or 8-year-old or 10-year-old or 15-year-old that's got issues already and going hard through life, and you're telling him about run upon a man and basically blasting his brains out is the good thing to do. And you know that if you do that, you're getting... I'm telling you, bro, I've known a good 3 people that are literally doing life, bro. So I'm thinking they would never, even if the bus case tomorrow, they would never jump on the mic and go in the studio and be like, I shot a man in the... No, are you dumb? Back a day when we have fights, straighteners, bam, bam, bam. If anyone pulled their phone out, started recording, bro, you get switched on.
Yeah, of course.
What are you doing? Trying to get man locked.
That's what I'm saying,
Nowadays, nobody wants to take the L. So nobody can... The fighting aspect of growing up and literally defending yourself as your own individual. Everyone wants to... Everyone around them, video cameraing. No one can take the loss or pull out a shot. Like, them things there, bro. The masculinity of the generation nowadays is kind of lost, where nobody has that heart no more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just want to stab someone. To me, it's cowardly, bro.
That's cowardly. That's how we would have looked at it back in the day, man. Man whips out a knife in a fair fight. You'd all want to roll on that person.
Thinking,
You'd
bro,
all want to rush him, or we'd be like, yo, you're going to stab all of us then. What is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what you on?
That is a cowardly move. And then another thing that I seen was one of like the established artists that's really gone clear. And he was kind of like saying, well, I'm just a rapper. I ain't a role model. I never asked to be a role model.
Yeah.
I'm just a rapper. I'm in this position. I'm not here to be no martyr and etc. etc.
That's fair enough in his mindset.
But I wanted to say, what he's putting out there is take drugs.
That's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to get to because that's fair enough. If his mindset is that young. Because that's how I look at it. That's a young mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a young mindset, bro. That's the way I can put it.
Yeah.
If you think that when you get to a certain status, and as I said, with great responsibility, that's what happens.
Yeah.
When you become a certain figure, your responsibility figure goes up, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
That's up to you now. And you have to be able to understand that, and whether you're ready for it or not, you have to be able to use that in a different kind of way. So whether you like it, you're gonna have young kids that's it's my man, and whatever you're saying, they will. As I said, when it comes to kids are sponges, you know, bro.
Yeah.
And as I said, seeing your own ones grow up and whatever. And a lot of the kids now, they won't even know their own history, but they can literally recite a whole song back to back.
Yeah.
You ask them what 5 times 5, they're 5 times 5.
Yeah.
But they can literally tell you the whole of the song from back to front. So I think it does start from home as well.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to get to is, I think from younger, we need to literally put certain morals and certain perspective in our younger people a lot more earlier. And stop expecting everyone else to teach them that kind of thing, whether we take the control back in that aspect, you know what I'm saying? Because my son, I'm not going to let him grow up to... It's hard to say because it's very environment based as well, do you know what I'm saying? It's very environment based as well. So if you grow up in a bad environment, it's going to breed fuckery.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's what it's designed for. The environment is designed to warp your mind and to make you think certain narratives are the way it is supposed to be, but it's not.
It's not.
But you have to break, and there's only certain people that can break out of it and elevate, and you're thinking, well, he's come from that. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
Look at Marcus Rashford and there's a lot of positive role models that have done things that have come from the gutter, bro.
Yeah, even Sterling's done a lot as well, innit? So do you feel like, so obviously like we know, like young people are very impressionable, and sometimes they're not really looking at the fine line of things. They're just whatever's in, they're following that. Yeah. Who do you think that we can blame? Do you think that it's an industry thing? Because obviously as a music mentor, when I've taught young kids and I've told them about like different vibrations and frequencies that they're messing with and words that they're messing with and understanding that words can come across as spells sometimes and that it can come back on you, like you say, what you put out there comes back to you. But then, like I'm saying, I've got them to write a song about their life, couple hundred views. The moment that they started doing this whole internet postcode thing, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 100,000. So for me, as a mentor, I'm trying to keep them on the straight and narrow, letting them know that, this can spiral off into beef or a whole lot of whatever. But the internet, the fans are feeling for more. How in that position, because I always felt like I was banging my head against the wall.
And that's what you're doing.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
because
what you're doing.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
what you're
teach
doing.
them and trying to say
Because
the bigger picture.
As much as you teach them and much as you say something, the reality of it is a lot of people don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't got the intelligence. And that's what I'm saying to you. There's no substance in the music no more. And because there's no substance, nobody wants to listen to when you're talking about sense.
Yeah.
So my views will be literally low.
Yeah.
But someone that literally hasn't even lived half of what I've done or what I've said or what, do you know what I mean, what I've been through, will talk the most shit about, we jumped off the roof and I shanked him in his neck.
Yeah.
And they will get like 1 million views and you're thinking, bro, my man's, bro...
Just me.
He's never done nothing in his life.
And then he's in his house, like laughing at you all, laughing at all the fans, laughing at
It's
everyone
crazy,
else indoors. And you're thinking,
It's mad.
if you knew what my actual living was like,
it's
you
crazy,
would laugh
bro.
at me as well.
And
because
to me, it does baffle me, but at the same time, because I understand it now, I think it's time to literally take that control back and stop letting other people control your energies. And I think, as I said, the important thing you said was a spelling. And I was reading a book on mantras and chakras and whatever.
Yeah.
And it was on about the word spelling, what it means.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, okay, let's go deep into this. And I'm saying basically where the word came from was an ancient word, was when you talk or when you say certain things, it becomes a spell. That's where the word spelling comes from. So you got to be careful what comes out of your mouth, because what it can define you. This is why I say Iama Pharoah. So anything you say I am, you become. So if you say I am a king or I am positive or anything you say I am, you've got to be understand that you're drawing a positive frequency. When you're talking about negative things, the only thing you can draw is negative frequency. So it has to come back in it's laws of nature. It's the laws of nature. So it has to come back. And back to what I was saying before about doing what you in what you do now affects you the future. So in that aspect is you have to be careful what you're doing at this precise moment and what you listen to, who you're around, who you give your energy to, who you give your time to, because that there will affect you not just for like the time being, but for the rest of your life. And it plays a major part, because even for me, getting a normal job or aspect, if I wanted to do that, it becomes very difficult. Because of the situation I put myself in, but I have to take responsibility for my own actions. And I think people nowadays don't take responsibility for their own actions, bro.
It's
So
a
we
blame
can all,
game.
it's a blame game. You can sit down, oh, you know what? Because he didn't on the case, if he never said this, or if he didn't do that, then. But you have to understand, you put yourself in that position, bro. If you're on road, banging, shouting, doing the madness, eventually some madness is gonna happen to you, bro. I've never met a trapper yet that hasn't took it L. I've never met one yet, bro. Never met one yet. And if you have, then something's wrong.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
by talking to you and understanding now is that, and for myself as well, is that self-reflection.
That's what
is very, very important.
Bro,
Do you know what I mean?
So many years reflecting and meditating and so forth. And people are like, bro, why are you meditating? Like, I'm saying, bro, you know, the self-reflection, because it all starts with you, you know. And people are always looking outside themselves for someone else's help or some other entity. It starts with yourself. So when you start taking charge of yourself, then you can start reiterating into other things in life, and a lot of things become more clearer. Like, right, it was me all along. So
even your reaction to things, even if it's somebody's triggered you and you've allowed yourself to be triggered, that person has won then, because they've got out of you what they triggered to get out of you. If you just boom, 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 let it hit you, keep your position, you still feel calm after, because you'd be like,
because
that person says 100 horrible things, you know, and I could have licked them down with one thing, but I still kept myself, because I understand that words are like weapons, and people can throw 100 words at you, but the moment you throw one, and it's because a lot of the time some people hold you in high regard. Do you know what I mean? So your word means a lot to them. So when you say one thing, it's like, whoa, their whole life is over. But it's like, hello, you said 100 things to me first, and I'm not even looking at that. But then after, I'll sit down, I'll be like,
self-reflection.
Why did I say that? Because I feel bad now.
But then that's what it is.
Do you know what I mean?
A lot of people are in control of their emotions, and I think that's what things I learned sitting down and self-reflecting, that you've got to be in control of what you're doing. And I think we always let people like, oh, but look what they're doing. Look, forget what they're doing, bro.
Yeah.
Forget what they're doing.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You stay in your lane. You stay your understanding what you need to be doing. And once you can do that and literally reflect and then drive, I swear to God, everything starts to open and be thinking, raw, what was he doing all this time? And as I said to you before the cameras, the scariest thing that happened to me was when I literally was reading and going through not mental transition, how can I put it? Just a whole mental breakthrough of myself and thinking, yo, how have you got to this point, bro?
Yeah.
And the scariest thing I realized when I read about different laws and different governments and history and whatever, and I've literally was like, everything I've been taught is a lie. And that's scary, you know.
Yeah.
To restart and reteach yourself everything you've been taught in life is scary, bro. Because you're thinking, raw, everything I know is bullshit. What now? I got to start from fresh. So you got to start reteaching yourself and re-understanding who you are as a person, understanding what brings you to certain stages, what made you become the person you are. Because sometimes it is trauma, and sometimes it is nurture, and sometimes it is nature, where you are, every 7 years your feelings change.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So how you felt 7 years ago, you'll definitely not feel again today. And are you supposed to grow? Some people don't as much as other people. And what happens is, a guy explained to me, he said, you can't sit still in life. I said, what do you mean? He said, put it this way, if you're in traffic, yeah, and your car breaks down, so basically you pull over in the hard shoulder, now your car's mash up now, can't move. But you see in the traffic, slowly move. He goes, are you stationary or going backwards? And I'm saying stationary. He goes, think about it again. They're going forward. You're staying still. Yeah? So, in a reality aspect, literally, you're stationary. But you're not. You're going backwards because they're traveling forward. Whether how slowly they're going doesn't really matter. Okay? They could all go around the island twice. They're lapping you. You're staying still.
Yeah.
So if you're not growing, you're dead. If you're mentally not growing as a person and saying, 7 years ago I was doing some absolute idiot foolishness and I'm a different person now, this is what I need to do to change what I need to do and change the person I am, because the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting the same results. I can't come out of jail and do the same dumb shit I was doing back then. Are you mad? Why would I do that?
That's a good thing for me to understand as well, because over the years you kind of have people that are like, I know the real you, but I know what you used to be like, and I know what you this and that. It's like me, I'm so reformed now that I cringe at the sort of things that I used to do before.
You do.
And I feel like...
And we still make some mistakes now. We're thinking, oh, why have I done that?
Yeah.
But you have to reflect again and go again.
And go again. You know, when you kind of realise that I was acting a certain way due to experiences, trauma, maybe pressure of surroundings. The moment I took myself out of that surroundings and I was just fully goal-driven and focused and thought, this is what I really want to do, everything changed. My whole perspective changed. The way my mannerism changed. It's like I can't go back now to be talking like, yo, blah, straight road now. Because I'm not saying I've excelled past that, but I put myself in positions now where it's like, I can't go into a school and say, Wagwan, everybody. Do you know what I mean? It's good morning, everybody. And then you start
but obviously, because you adapt to the situation.
You
with your brethren, like what? You know what I'm saying?
That's
different.
But you see, some people, they
don't know how to transition from road into business.
Yes.
That is the main factor. And that comes down to finances again.
Yeah.
Because we're not taught money management.
Yeah.
From a young age.
Yeah.
The only way you learn money management is when you hit road. Or you get your first job when you're 18 or 21, or you little paper round when you're like 4. You know what I'm saying? When you're young. But you're not taught money management. And I think money management needs to be taught in schools a lot younger. And I think business needs to be taught in schools a lot younger.
Yeah.
How to reiterate your money and to accumulate your money and to make your money grow.
Yeah.
I think we don't get taught that. I think we only get taught that when we start to lose money when we're older. And then we're thinking, the bills, like, what's going on?
And I think now, with this generation, like with what you were saying about platforms, how you can build your own platform and that can be your own business. Kids need to be taught that they can monetize off this whole TikTok and Snapchat
Yeah, of course.
and Instagram traffic now because
Yeah.
it's there. Like some of them have got probably a better reach than celebrities.
This is what and
But they
it's the
don't
maddest.
realise
They don't realise.
that, bro, I'm
Don't
actually
realise.
a product. Do you know what I mean? If they could understand that, yo, your reach is of such and such, such and such.
Yeah.
If you was the, where's your passion? Where's your drive? Oh, you wanted to do that? Okay, then why you wanted to, I don't know, you wanted to make or you wanted to bake or whatever.
Yeah.
If you could get 100 of them 500 likes to buy into your £5 a cake thing, like how much money are you going to be
Exactly.
making a month? Do you know what I mean?
If you've got a platform and you're pushing for that platform and you've got, say you got 100,000 followers, which is a big following.
Mm-hmm.
If every single one of the followers, even, you sold something for £1, say it's a friggin' a little merchandise of a little keyring for £1, you have to think about it. That's £100,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even
Now,
you got 10% of that engagement,
do you know what I'm trying to
that's
say to
10K. Do you know what I
And
mean?
that's like kids when they're like 16, 17 nowadays. They're getting older, but they have to be taught business and money management from a young age. And don't think we got taught that. We didn't get taught that until what we learned actually was work hard, work long, and it will, and for pennies.
Yeah,
as I said, our older generation, that's all. Work.
Yeah,
Me have to go work. That's what you hear.
Yeah.
But I think our generation, we see things a lot more different now. I don't think we have to do that I think hard work that doesn't change.
Yeah.
But I think you work smart, not hard.
But you know our gen as well, our olders, a lot
Yeah.
of them work them double, triple shifts so that
Oh.
they can bring over
Yeah.
their children and
so
family
forth,
and all that kind of
That's
stuff.
mum come over from Caribbean and
Same
whatever. man,
as what?
So, come on, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing where I understand busting your back, do you know what I mean? To bring people over and stuff
But
like
I think
that.
a lot of the youths need that as well because they don't understand hard work at all.
They don't have that.
They want
ethic.
everything given to them, like step by step. It's not about that. You have to build your own thing now, and you have to literally push forward. If you don't believe in yourself, who the hell will?
Obviously, as we can tell, do you know what I mean? You've had a very powerful journey.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you was in jail, you had a long time to reflect and stuff like that. Just obviously, would you like to touch upon what the reasons why you done like quite a lot of time in jail and stuff? You got convicted? Sorry.
Well, got convicted. Went in jail May 14th. 2014.
Okay.
So that was for firearms.
Okay.
So conspiracy to supply firearms.
So obviously, when I heard about the case and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it was all hearsay. Do you know what I mean? So it's good
Okay,
that we can have this conversation, so you can hear it from the horse's mouth, so
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
But obviously, I was very shocked at the time because obviously we grew up in the same generation and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and that's the last thing that I would have heard
Yeah, of
from
course,
yourself. Do you know what I
definitely,
mean? But obviously, it was at a time where you was rolling with different people.
Yeah.
You obviously would have got connected in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So
because I know a lot of people. That's what it is. So
yeah. So how did it even come about that you kind of got into that
Do you
kind
know
of
what?
life?
And this is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't even like something that. How can I put it?
You never aspired to be.
That wasn't because I'm shutting burners and whatever, and that life's dead.
Yeah.
But it was just another transition from road life.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
think about it, the same way you're shutting, the same way all it is middlemen. So you do middlemen things.
Yeah.
So if someone, as I said, we do it all the time. Average people do it as well. Oh, he's got a skip. Oh, he's selling a skip for friggin' 100 quid. Do you know what? Tony needs a skip for 150.
Yeah.
Tony, you want a skip?
Yeah.
I got a skip for 150. He's earned 50 quid now.
Yeah. Okay.
So you transition from road. Obviously, it's not that's not that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you're doing food and whatever and so forth, anyone that's shutted food and so forth. So you've got a box of food, say for friggin' 30 bags. Obviously, he can sell it for 28, so you earn 2 quid on the side. Do you know what I mean? So it becomes a part of just hustle and bustle. So when someone says, "Oh, there's a geezer here, he's buying up bare things and whatever," who's vouching for my man? Blah blah blah. Certain man's vouching for him. This man's vouching for him. Ah, cool, safe. Not really my thing, but I know a man that knows a man. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then it just spirals from there, and you don't realise the severity until years later when your door's coming off and you got freaking armed police at your door putting dots on your head in my boxers. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? So it wasn't an aspect of I'm on road just frigging with AKs and that where people I could elaborate and do the madness, but I'm saying that there is nothing that I want to get involved in. But at the same time, I did, and
so it's just more that just like wheeling and dealing sort
that's
of thing.
all it is, and I think road life brings them kind of situation to you where anyone on road will tell you, them kind of things become normality and aspect of, it's a madness, or certain things are happening, but you're just earning a little quick change, bag here, five little 500 quid here, this, you know what I'm saying? So it's nothing aspect of, wow, I want to be a gun dealer.
Yeah,
nah.
yeah.
And I think that's what the jury, and this is what I'm saying, the whole justice system will paint you out to be this underground friggin' crazy firearm criminal that's biggest case in Birmingham for 20 years, and but it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. I think we just get caught up in the madness, and because I know a lot of people, when you're driving, as I said, driving with shotgun in the boot and whatever, which when you look back thinking, bro, what are you on?
Yeah,
what are you on, bro?
Yeah.
Are you mad? I would never do that again, because it's just foolishness. The reward does not comprehend with the risk.
Yeah, for real.
5 years for a firearm, and you're gonna earn what? Say 500 quid, a bag at the most. Off a little backhand deal or whatever. 5 years divided by $1,000.
Yeah, for real.
Let's do the maths. I got 11 years, bro. Do 5.5, half on license or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's half a decade and some change, bro. So even if, okay, let's do the maths. This is how I talk to people nowadays, because I don't think they understand the stupidity.
Yeah.
And me, I would never promote that as like, are you dumb?
Yeah, for real.
That is stupid, bro. Why would I be doing that when I could literally be earning? I could work in the gym tomorrow and earn £300 a week. So just do £300 times 4, which is 1,200. Let's times that by 12. That's 12 bags a year. You've just sold a gun for a bag, and you've got 11 years, bro. You could be working in Tesco for what? Do you know what I'm saying, bro? So for me, the risk doesn't add up to the reward. So for me to do that again, or to me to understand that when back then, I need to be a bit more wiser. And I said, it wasn't like, oh, you want to get caught or you in it for doing the madness. It's just literally, you just earn an extra little change or whatever, phone rings, whatever. And it's just stupidity, but as I said, never again.
So how was it? So what was your first feelings when the door come off with police and stuff like that? Like what was going through your mind?
I was in my boxers, bro. So, I was in bed and whatever with freaking Missy whatever. So yeah, the door just went bam, bam, bam. She ran downstairs first. So when she ran downstairs, she's like, "What's going on?" So I've heard my name being shouted. I'm thinking, raw. And I heard like armed police. So I ran downstairs. She's gone to get the kids or whatever now, yeah? So they're at the door. They're standing on my front door now. So my front door is literally in front of me. So I'm like, raw, what's going on? I've just seen lights and lasers and whatever. Put your hands in the small of your back. Put your hands in the small of your back. So I want to be turned around, put my hands. But I'm thinking, shit. My road phone's in the kitchen. So I'm thinking, oh my God. But they say to me, if you move left, or you move right, or you move any way backwards, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm unarmed. I can see I'm unarmed, but it's feds, bro. I'm not taking no risk. You're mad. So I'm saying, what's this about? What's this about? In my head, because this is what I'm saying to you. What happens now manifests to the future. This is how important it is, bro, because I literally, when the door came off, I didn't know what the hell it was about, bro. Because I'm thinking, how much stuff have I done over the years? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, what's going on? I don't know. I don't know. So as I've stepped out now, it's cold, remember, I'm in boxers now, friggin' top up, everything like this, and small on my back. And I was saying to him, what's this about? Bro, I've seen like 4 armed vehicles at the front, the whole road's locked off. There's a helicopter, there's a sniper up by the school. I'm saying, sniper, bro. I said to the geezer, I said to him, bro, he had his mask on, obviously, because they got the guns out with a little string thing. So if they drop the gun, obviously they can recap the gun, whatever. So I said to him, what's this about, man? What's this about? And I never forget what he done. You're not supposed to do it still. He pulled his mask out of this and he goes, I think you know what it's about. And he pulled him out. I was like, raw, what's this going on? Then he dashed the foot thing. Have you seen the foot thing? So it's like 2 metal things. You put your foot in there. I'm saying, bro, I'm not going in that. You're mad. So obviously I was handcuffed already, trying to put me like some foot brace, like some slave. I said, bro, you're mad. I said, move that for me, man. So he basically shouted to the person, like, all clear. So all the people put their firearms away, whatever. So I'm like, why? What is going on? He looked like 5 stars of Grand Theft Auto, bro. I was thinking, what is going on here, bro? So as I'm walking up my road, police woman's like, oh, it's cold tonight, innit? I said, shut up, man. So he put me in a van and took me to King's Heath police station. And then as soon as I seen one of my brethrens, I knew straight away what it was. Yeah. Oh. That's when I knew. I thought, raw, that's a mazza. And from that moment on, I had to get my head around, I'm definitely going to do a long sentence. Because I know what's happened. So even no comment, I know in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, it's peak. And obviously my barrister, my solicitor come there and she said, 10, you're looking 10 at least. So from in the King's Heath police station, I'll never forget, it was in a dark room and I can't remember what was on the wall. There was something on the wall, it was like an arrow, obviously with the cameras there, whatever. And I literally sat in the dark like this and I thought, for a minute, bro, you're going to be here for a minute. And everything just literally from there, I had to get my head around it very quickly that I'm not going to leave this place.
Yeah.
And I didn't see road tour, whatever. But I think when it hit me the most is when I got to, obviously, Winton Green. So I spent a long time in Winton Green. Yeah. But the first night, we go D-Wing first, which is the induction wing. Okay. So you go up there and they ask you all sorts of crazy questions, bro. For me, it was madness way. Oh, are you transgender? Because you have to ask, this is what I'm saying, I have to ask you these questions like, are you homosexual? Are you, all these
like
mad
drug user?
Yeah, or have you committed suicide before? Have you attempted suicide? Do you, all sorts of, like, for me personally, I'm like, what are you asking me? It was just crazy questions, bro. And he goes, I'm sorry I have to ask these questions, but we have to ask everybody. It was just literally assessing your mental health. Because as I said, mental health is a big thing and people don't talk about it enough, especially in prisons. Because prison officers do not know how to deal with mental health, bro. They just know how to lock people up. They don't know how to assess you into an aspect. Or some people in there I've known, they're not supposed to be in jail, bro. They need to be sectioned and helped mentally. But because they don't have that help, you just easy stick in the cell. So we asked him all these questions, blah, blah. So he put me into the cell anyway, which was upstairs. So I obviously had my bag. Remember, I got arrested in my boxers, so I had some prison mad dead frigging thing on. Yeah. So I sat on the bed, and this one hit me like a ton of bricks, bro. So I sat on the bed, and obviously it was the old grey back TVs. Remember the old grey back it was 1 to 4, 1 to 4 channels. So I'm flipping over the channels now, like thinking, oh my god.
Sorry to laugh. You go from all these channels, sports channels, football.
People don't understand.
1 to 4.
1 to 4, and it was all fuzzy and grey back TV. I'm like, oh my god. And obviously, because Winter Green had I was outside, so we had cockroaches and whatever. That was normal. You got used to it. So I'm gone there, and it's like an old dungeon, freaking, you know, Winter Green's old dungeon kind of thing. So I sat on the bed, and my bags and my face all dry, stinking, because I've been in South for 3 days in King's Heath, and I'm like, and it just went like a ton of bricks. And I thought, yo, Don, I'm here, innit? Yeah. And I had to literally just, again, G-check myself and say, listen, is what it is, innit? Like, you have to just get your head around it. And that phone call home, and do you know what I'm saying, mum's birthday and all them, do you know? Oh, madness. So I think that's that experience. And I said, bless my kids' mum and everything for bringing the kids up consistently. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that keeps you grounded, bro. It keeps you grounded. So I bless her for that, because that will never be forgotten. Because a lot of people I know that would never had that. Do you know what I'm saying? And when they come out, the bond with the kids and bond with the family is completely disintegrated. So people don't see the side of that when they're doing the Madison Road.
So you think that for you to have that support that helped you with your transition back?
Yeah, of course, because it keeps you grounded, because you know that I've got a bigger purpose than just being in jail, doing whatever. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I am a fun person, so I have a laugh wherever I'm. I'll make every situation whatever.
You do. Even when you say, you know what I mean?
I'm that sort of person. So even some of the prison officers with me and my brethren laughing in the showers and rapping and whatever, and was like, do you know you're in jail? I'm saying, what do you want me to do? Cry? I can't cry. I have to literally assess what I'm doing, push forward, but at the same time, seeing my kids consistently and my family, and that keeps you grounded. That say, do you know what? There's a bigger purpose than just this, and I think this is a learning experience that we all have to go through, and it's horrible when you see you. And I understand, I do understand why some women say I'm not bringing my kid up there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do get that. That's why for her, I bless her for that, because she looked past all that and said, you know what, I'm bringing them, and kept the bond and kept, do you know what I mean, our bond and so forth. And that's beautiful, because some people never had that, bro. Never had no family visit them. Never had no family giving them anything, no kids, and they've all got family and whatever. And I'm thinking, rah. But as I said, traumatic is seeing your son and your daughter with standing there with their hands out and frigging with their dum in their mouth or whatever, and the dog sniffing them and barking and whatever. And I'm thinking, I don't want to see my kids do it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's bad, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get to have that bond, and it's weird. I see them grow up in an aspect of that, and it's hard, because you're looking thinking, I want to be, especially when leaving. You know what I'm saying? When they're leaving, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But as I said, you have to count your blessings. So for me, that is one of the biggest, hardest stages that you have to look for. And it's not just for 1 year or 2 years. It's not just a little armed robbery or a little frigging, not saying armed robbery is a little, but I'm saying, do you know what I mean? Not a little street crime. It was a serious crime. So this is very, very powerful, and I'm so glad that you're open to speak about the experience, because I can tell, do you know what I mean, that you've learned a lot from being in there, and obviously you've took responsibility, and you've understood that the choices that you made, this is the consequence, and you have to man up and deal with it. You have to,
By you doing that is why you're on this path now, why you're on this righteous path now, why you're on it, because you understood that this is time for me to reteach myself.
You have to reteach yourself. That's why I can't listen. And don't mean just no disrespect to any musician. If you haven't given me some sort of substance, I won't accept that energy, because I'm thinking, bro, you talk about roads, you ain't lived that, bro.
Yeah.
You talk about certain things, you haven't done that.
Yeah.
And even if you did, like, why would you even feel the need to put that negativity out there again, bro? That's dead to me, bro. That it doesn't comprehend with my reason. So that's the only reason why I'm saying. And I think people, when I say them things, I think people try to understand a bit more now where I'm coming from. Do you know what I mean?
So
not just being
obviously,
I'm a high horse. I'm just saying.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad that you're putting this perspective across, because it needs to be heard. You're not glorifying it. You know, a lot of these that come out, they try and glorify it, but it's nothing to be glorified for. So thank you for touching upon that. Do you know what I'm saying? So moving forward now, you're out now. Obviously, you've got your focus of music, but what else is it you're looking to do? What else? How is it now that you're going to solidify your message? Obviously, you've got the music, but what else would you like to do to be able to?
There's loads, man. There's loads of documentaries and films, and as I said, documentaries that'll be good. A few documentaries and so forth. But there's a whole. I think even teaching our age group and certain things, even about history covers. I've done a Black History speech not long back as well. So just teaching people about themselves as well. And it's hard for me to sit back and watch certain things, and I'm thinking, I need to be involved, man. I need to get my understanding to you. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone's gonna get it. Not everyone's gonna understand it. Not everyone has the time or the understanding, but that's their own journey. But for people who have got a bit of sense and a bit of understanding and thinking, this can't be it. Like, do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot for me to touch upon. So
I think why are you dropping gems like this? Because it's been loads of cases where I've tried to grab people out the fire, but sometimes we have to be burnt to understand. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
As much as you try and say somebody or whatever,
you can't say.
How are they gonna self-develop? How would you have self-developed if you didn't go through what you went through?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Do you know what I mean?
How would that manifest? How would you change if you haven't gone through madness? As I said before, we was talking about when you was younger, your mum used to say to you, "Don't touch the fire. You wait for the fire. Hot. You know, hot," and slap your hand, whatever. And you're fast still. You still touch your hand in the fire and you get burnt. And I think sometimes we have to go through situations to learn. As I said, the best lesson learned is the lesson you learn yourself. So when you go through certain things and you do certain aspects and And even you can get told a million times, and you do think you're thinking, oh, that's what it's on about. Damn. Do you know what I mean? But then you learn and you grow. But not everybody does that, and that's to me, I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I still make mistakes and still do things. I'm thinking, what are you doing? You stupid. But you have to. It's part of your journey, bro.
It's part of your journey.
It's part of you growing up and saying,
you
do you know what?
Too hard on yourself.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's your growth. It's your journey, and you're saying, do you know what? Next time.
I'm gonna do it different, and then when you do it different, you pass go. Then it's like, all right, ding, ding, ding.
There you go. You understand, and then you can teach that to the younger. So as I said, I don't want my son and it sounds, when I say this, it sounds mad. I don't want my son to be nothing like me. And everyone's like, what do you mean? I'm saying, nah, I want him to be way better than me. Like, I want him to learn from the things I've done, and the madness that I've been through, and the things I've messed up on. Use that as a bridge to step over that and say, do you know what? That's not me. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So that when I say, nothing like me, that's what I mean. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want him to go through it. I don't want him to struggle and go through madness or whatever. I don't want him to do that. You're crazy.
Because our generation, we didn't really have like role models, like I'm not saying everybody, but majority of our generation, it was the Lovers Rock generation, weren't it? So I don't know if you've watched the Small Acts. There's like little mini compilations where they're going back in history and stuff. But in the 80s, when the Lovers Rock come along, obviously they showed like the shubbeens where they were all doing the little dancing, all that kind of stuff. And I was watching it, and I think it was at my mum's. I was watching it, and I was like, oh, so is this the reason why I'm here then? All you see is everybody there slow whining, grinding up on each other.
That was a way back then.
But this is this is the thing where it made me realise that, okay, my dad was a part of that generation. All right, he has youths all over the place. All right, yes, I am one of many, and I resented him for that. But then I broke that generational curse.
But you have to break this. See, I'm saying that's what the best thing to do is. You understand that having bag of kids is okay if you look after them. If you don't look after us, bro, what are you on? I know, man, I got 12 youths. Good for you, but how many of the 12 youths do you see? How many 12 kids? How many 12 kids do you pay for? How many 12 kids that actually know you on a consistent basis? And I think, especially for as young black men as well, we're labelled as like, that bare kids and don't look after them. That could never be me, bro. It could never be me. My kids know me inside out.
And I don't hold no anger or any animosity
good.
Towards my father. I've already like give him that whole, you know what, I'm a dad now, so it's kind of like I'm rewriting your wrongs now. So I don't hold no animosity
because
towards
you've seen what he's done, so you've literally elevated and said, you know what, I won't do that. So you understand it now, so you're
understanding your circle, so you break it. But I just feel like our generation, we're stuck in the whole blame people, blame. My father wasn't there, so this is why I'm not here. Oh, this is that. Oh, you know. Yes, there is a lot of
institutionalized. That's it.
Racism. Do you know what I'm saying? But I believe that how we come across and how we are as a person. I'm not being stuck in victim mode. That's the word that I'm looking for.
What it is.
I'm not getting stuck in victim mode. If I know that somebody is gonna judge me on my race or whatever, I'm not even gonna give them that energy that they want. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
If they're a key holder, then I'm gonna have to create my own key and bypass them. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
People won't give you the platform. You create your own platform.
You create your own platform.
And I think this is where it does tie back into the music, because I think institutional racism, especially in prison systems and in life,
in schools as well.
Schools because they teach you the madness. Because we're not taught the real history in schools. We're not taught the real history. As I said, prison's not for me, and I understand the system. It's not designed to help you. It's not designed to break you down. It's designed to make you form and control, to make you literally just into a robot and to do what I'm saying to do. Whether it benefits you or not, this is what you have to do. And I think you can lose your soul in them kind of places. You can lose your own identity. You can lose who you are as a person if you're not strong-minded.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? That's why I don't comply to shit.
Yeah.
I'm a person where, like, at the end it's like, just whatever. Because I'm a person where if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not listening to what you're saying. If it doesn't comprehend to my reason, and what you're saying does not make any sense, I'm not going to be like, oh, yes, sir. No. What you chatting shit, bro?
Yeah.
That's me. I've always been the same. I can't. It won't let me. It won't let me say, yeah, we're Leos, but I'm like that, bro. We're Leos. Leos are we're not compliant people. Like, yeah, we're just gonna follow that. Nah, I'm not a sheep. I can't be a sheep. But it does tie into the music where institutionally, if certain rappers or certain singers or certain artists are there at, say, Black Lives Matter marches and talking about, oh, they're killing off black people, and then next minute you go leave from the march and go into the studio and talk about run down the up block and stab a man in the neck. I'm saying, bro, how does that comprehend with what you're talking about? As I said, it starts from home and it starts from internal. So it's you, I am. So if you stand for something and you understand that that's not right, why would you then go and promote something that's going to kill off other black people? Yeah. Bro, to me, that doesn't make no sense or reason. So I'm saying to you, if I'm drawing people out when I'm saying certain things, if the cap fits, wear it, bro. Because for me, I'm saying that does not make no sense, bro.
For this one, it's if the shoe fits, wear it. You know, like that.
It's true.
Because if that's what,
because you can't go from a march with your mask on and your hand up and then go back to the frigging block and then shoot and clap man in the head. I'm saying.
So that leading on to another point of myself, because obviously we're songwriters and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't use the word nigger in my music.
We had this conversation with someone else the other day. Yeah, do you know what? It's so hard. I've had to change that because I used to be bad, bro. Yeah. Really bad.
But the thing is, like, obviously you kind of had that style where not American style.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But it's kind of
like a universal kind of
universal. Do you know what I mean? So I can kind of understand why you might have used it. But me personally, when I'm thinking about the word nigger, it's like, okay, everybody feels a way. Oh, you can't say that word. Yeah. But if it's in a lyric and people are just saying it, it just automatically it will come out. Now, I'd say to the person, have respect for me, innit? Do you know what I mean? Because you know that it's a racist slur. Yeah. Like, let's say some of my white friends or some of the young kids, the most that do it, that they're seeing it as, but my favourite rapper does it every week, can. I see it as, if we want to eradicate or we don't want nobody to say that word, us as people need to stop using it first.
Okay, this is the point I'm going to touch on. When people use the word nigga, obviously, this is a hard one. Yeah. It's like a prism. So it's like a triangle prism. You have to flip it different sides. The word nigger originally means less than a dog. Yeah. That's what it means from slavery days and so forth. So that was used to degrade you, to put you down in an aspect of nigger. Yeah. Like, less than a dog, dirt. Yeah. Okay. I think because it got used so much and become so derogative and so negative that they would come to a stage where everyone started using it in the black community to change that. Because as I said, if you want to change poison, you put the antidote. So what you do is that word can never hurt me. So I'm going to use the word, take it, use it against my peers. And when you say nigger, F you. Yeah. So you take the sting out of the word. What the danger is when everyone starts to use that word, you don't know where that aspect's coming from, whether it is racial or it's not racial. And what you said was completely right. How I've learned now. I used to think, stop being so sensitive. Fucking nah, bro, we have to stop using them things. If we have to stop using them things amongst ourselves for the narrative to be dead in the whole thing. Yeah. You can't. If the plant's rotten from the base, we can't just put pretty flowers on the top. You have to cut the whole thing out and restart again. So for me, I think we do have to eradicate that, and I'm making it more conscious to myself to say stop using certain words. Because as I said, spelling. So when even as much as we try to pretty up the word, or as much as we try to glamorize certain things, that word still comes from a derogatory source, bro. Definitely. And I think we have to literally eradicate that from our own vocabulary to stop everyone else using it as well. And I think that's very important. I think I've learned that in the last... That's my journey as well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's my journey as well. For a few years, I'm thinking, do you know what? Certain things I won't even say because it's very negative. And I think if we don't expect... How can I put it? It's difficult to put it in certain aspects because... we have to literally internalize that one and saying why we're using it then. Yeah. Are we still uncomfortable with ourselves to say we have to be accepted by everyone? Oh, I'm a nigger as well, whatever. I think that, I don't know, that's a bit. Because I think we have to literally cut that one out completely. I think
when people have called me a nigger now in my adult age, like I laugh. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I know you're trying to trigger me. Like, come on, try harder.
Yeah,
it's like I feel like I've took the power out of the word. So now, somebody, even when people use it online and stuff like that, beforehand, that would piss me off. I'd be like, yo, why would you make, like, hello? You class me as your friend, but yet when something's happened with EDL, now you're showing out your true colours.
But this is what happens though. Because a lot of people do not show their true colours until the time comes. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. And with everything that's happened with George Floyd and all of that kind of stuff, I had to remove so many people.
But it's a blessing.
That I thought were but I thought they were my people. And I thought that, because I don't look at somebody and think race. Do you know what I mean? But clearly they have.
Yeah, because
even over the years they've been holding little things in, and then something like this, it's like, wow,
subconsciously, subconsciously, that's in their brain from the get-go. And as someone explained to me, if you have an argument with someone and the first thing they say, black, they've had that in their understanding and their reason from, and it's taught from young as well. It's not just taught. If someone as a young kid calls you a nigger, it's not the young kid you have to be looking at. It's the parents. It's the parents and the environment they're around, because that word will get used consistently when you're not there, when you're not around. So when you are around, it doesn't really.
They don't know the meaning or the power behind it, but they just know that every time there's a black person on the TV, or any time there's a chance to, that fucking nigger, them fucking monkeys, or whatever. So when they say, oh, you monkey to a little kid, I'm going back home, Mom, such and such called me monkey, what? Go down to school. Obviously, that kid don't realise that by calling me a monkey, that's so offensive, and I feel like, I'm an animal, Mom. Do you know what I mean? When you're young, obviously, primary school, senior school, suffered with racial abuse quite a lot. Only until, obviously, man was just like, nah, that's it then. If you come with a racist term, I'll punch you in your face. You got to that stage, and then people were like, whoa, actually, don't call him that, as it's going to be an issue. Do you know what I mean?
And I think we have to learn that we have to take certain, as I said, certain control back in certain aspects. So we have to teach our kids that racism is a part of society in general. Definitely. I think from even our schools, like when we was learning about Christopher Columbus and so forth. So we get taught Christopher Columbus discovered America and so forth. But if you actually look at Christopher Columbus and you look at what actually happened in now, if I know these things now, I swear to God, in school, I'd have been a problem.
Yeah, you would have challenged it.
I'd have been a problem, bro. The teacher would be like, can you leave? Because I'm saying Christopher Columbus did not discover America, because Christopher Columbus' dad was a slave master. Some people don't know this. So he was a slave master, basically, yeah? So he used to go on the ships, obviously cotton trade and so forth, sugar trade. So, long story short, Christopher Columbus was on the ships with his dad when he was younger. Okay. So, in Christopher Columbus' archive, you can research this yourself. People don't believe me. So, what he said was, when he got to the Americas, he seen the same people that was on the slave ships when he was a boy in America.
Okay.
So I was reading like, So, therefore, how can you discover a place that people was already there living, already had a civilization, had running water and food and basically what happened was you bumped into an island with native people that was already black and Indian and so forth was already there, and you just killed them off and took the country for yourself. That's what happened. Let's be honest. If you live in your house, if I walk to your house, knock on your front door, with my bags and say,
time for you to go now.
That's basically what it is. You know
Either go or we can kill you.
You was living in that house. You was there. So you can't discover a place where people are already living and have a civilization. That doesn't add up to any reason. So if we actually look at actually real history and what gets actually taught, then we can understand why so much of the institutional racism exists, especially with the police. People, the police are there to help us. Now, understand, because the platforms are going to be careful. Okay? But for me, I understand the history behind certain things. So when I've seen things from the other side of what they would do to certain cases to get, regardless of what happens, and a barrister told me this once, he goes, if police want you, he goes, they'll get you. Regardless of what happens, if they want you, that's what they're going to do. And they will do anything. The most corrupt organization that I've seen us firsthand, personally. But we have to understand why. Why is there so much police brutality? Why is there so much killing in the black community as well? Where does that stem from? And when people start to realize the history, because young people don't even look at history nowadays. And if you don't know where you're from, how the hell you know where you're going?
Yeah, true.
If a lot of people knew where they was from, they would have a lot more self-belief and self-understanding of where you come from. So Sir Robert Peel started the Metropolitan Police, and his dad, slave master as well. So he was involved in the cotton trade, Sir Robert Peel. So he started the Metropolitan Police. So long story short, he was heavily against the abolishment of slavery, and the money they got from the cotton trade funded the Metropolitan Police. We have to understand even deeper than that, and that was in 18 after slavery, 18 something. So before that, 1704 was in the south of the Americas. That was in what region was it now? I can't remember the region where it was, but in the south of America, whatever. Not South America, but South in American states or whatever, yeah. So remember that Civil War, North and the South, whatever. That was for abolishment of slavery as well. So anyway, 1704, they basically made a police force. That was the first police force before it come over to Britain. So Britain's police force was relatively quite new compared to the police force. And it was to literally guard rich people's belongings. That was the first thing they wanted to do. Obviously stop people robbing and so forth. The second reason why they created the police in the original police was to recapture slaves. So that was the original reason of the police force. So they used to do that: lynch, hang, friggin' kill, whatever. Anyone run away, they go and get them. That is the fundamental basis and the actual foundation of police.
Wow.
So when we're thinking of why police been killing young black men for hundreds of years, it's nothing new. There's nothing changed. It's just in the way that they do things, more diplomatic way. There's not the foundation of what's institutional racism, and we've just seen it the other day when in America when they took over there. And I'm telling you now, if that was a load of look at when Black Lives Matter went there, there would have been bodies in the street. But it's okay when it's Trump supporters, because what it is, they've got financial and institutional backing of race and money. When you've got that whole package of money and power,
unstoppable,
it's an unstoppable force. And we're trying to catch up because we've always had knowledge, but we haven't had the power. Do you
all the resources.
We haven't, because we're not unified anymore. The more people are unified, and you'll notice when a lot of people come together and unify, that is when a lot of problems happen, because they do not want people to. And this is what I'm saying, even with the music, even with television, even with award shows or whatever you're doing, when you unify into a big base and everyone comes together and says, you know what, let's do things together, that's when things become a lot more scary for the hierarchy, and you become a threat more than a accomplice. You know what I'm saying to you? When you comply with that system, it's fine. Oh, love you to bits. The minute you step out of that and think, hold on, that's not right, you know. Let's get together and put our money together. Because as I said, Martin Luther King, he didn't die because of what he was saying, because he had a dream. The reason why they killed him, and people don't know this as well, sorry to get deep, but people don't know is because what happened was he started to get into financial aspects with properties and oils and so, and he literally become a financial superpower. So when you financially become actually strong, and then you add your followers and your message, that you're giving a positive message that we all should unify and come
then
together.
You're going to link up with Malcolm as well.
And that's what, that there, you had to die.
Yeah.
And in 1994, the CIA and FBI got trialed, a civil case, if people don't research it yourself, and they got found guilty that they killed Martin Luther King. So that's nothing new new to me anyway. That if you actually research, that's who killed him.
And there was another guy as well, not as well known as Malcolm and Martin, but
that was Malcolm's brethren.
He's going to be the funder, innit? Because he had accumulated such wealth,
money.
And he was like, yo, you man, I'll fund this.
Financial.
3 weeks after he was gone as well.
Nipsey Hussle had his own currency had his own currency and distributing it to people, and had a message back to fund Dr. Zebi's program and so forth, which obviously I've studied Dr. Zebi for years, bro. That's why I don't eat meat anymore and so forth. And when you go into certain things and it hires your consciousness of why people are telling you certain things and leading you certain avenues, when you get there and you're thinking, this is too coincidental, why all these people are dying? Because and you have to understand the pattern, and then when you go deep into it, you're like, oh shit, that's why.
But when you've gone deep into it, has that ever made you think, raw, do I even want to pursue like music? Do I want to pursue being in a industry where do you know what I mean?
It's hard, it's hard.
Because I felt like that a few times.
On it,
Do you know what I mean? Where you feel like, you know what? I know that I have a voice. I know that my intentions are pure with what I want to do. I know that I've got like the rapport of how many people have been able to change their mindsets and help them on their journey. Do I really want to take it to that next level where I could potentially put myself in a position where I'm a threat to these people's? It's an institute that they've built now. It's a well-oiled machine.
It's a
for you to come in and start, you know what I mean, tipping away.
It's structure, bro.
But you have to kind of see it as, look, as long as your purpose is for the greater good, it doesn't matter how many people are going to try and shut you down.
This is what I'm saying, because once you know internally that you're doing the right thing for yourself, mentally, spiritually, unified, for love, for your own journey, then that will come anyway. Yeah. When you start to get people coming together, that hate and that whole institute will come after you regardless. Of course it will. Yeah. Because that's what it's not designed to. It's literally designed to make you conform. So when you don't conform and you go out of the narrative and you literally push onto the way where they're thinking, where you going? Whoa, come back here. No. And when you don't do that, you automatically become a threat. Yeah. But when you do follow the narrative and you do follow the conformity, you always end up down the same road. And as I said before, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. So why would I conform and comply when I know that is demonic, that is devil shit? Yeah. So why would I do that?
It's all emptiness, and it's emptiness.
There's nothing. As I said, I'm into substance. I'm into something that will give you some foundation, and following the sheep of nowadays, what I call people the sheep, because they just follow what everyone there, like just follow the whole thing. You're thinking, bro, have you got your own mind? And I think we need more investors. We need more financial people that will push your message and will push your music. Because as I said, if I was talking to Mad Crud when I come out, I would have had 20 investors by now. I would have had frigging 20 managers on my line. I would have had, that's what I'm saying here, but because I'm not doing that, it's a longer process, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the long process because bottom line is I'm doing what I love to do. Plus, I'm not going to be talking no bullshit. I have to be talking what's true to myself. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
So I've got two more questions for you. So the first one is that, so for the viewers and stuff like that and your listeners, what have you got next music wise? What's the plan? What are you looking to push out this year?
So Sicker Than Me's out couple of days. So that's obviously will be on my own platform on YouTube as well. It's on Link Up TV already. Yeah. So that's on Link Up TV, YouTube, be on Spotify and all the platforms. Yeah. Then I've got so much songs literally ready to go. Ready to go. So just music video after music video after music video after.
So when you come out, you just went straight to studio, just put the hard work in.
To be fair, the first thing I done was family, and just that was like the foundation thing, and then and it's mad. Because because I wasn't used to. I'm still not kind of used to social media. I'll be honest with you. It's a bit of a lie, raw. Like, I understand. We're not used to that. Do you know what I'm saying? We're used to being. I'm used to living a life where I'm trying to be elusive. I'm not trying to make everyone see what I'm doing. Yeah. To a place where you have to build a platform to make everyone see what you're doing to get what you need to get.
Invest into your journey.
So it's an understanding of how to utilize it, but. Yes, I've got videos after video, got podcasts, documentaries coming out. So literally, I'm just full speed ahead, bro. And nothing really, in my eyes, can stop me, bro. I'm just literally just going to go ahead, keep pumping the tunes out there. If you feel it, blessings to you. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how it is.
But obviously, I'm saying, people, you need to make sure that you're following. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a Pharaoh. You need to make sure you're following his journey. The song, "Who's Sicker Than Me," is stuck in my head. Even this morning, I've got found myself singing it. It's got that old school substance to it, but it's got that grittiness. It's got everything. I think you packaged it very well. I think even the visuals.
Yeah, we
were
can
good.
highlight a good film.
I seen the dancers, the Criterion, the dancers.
Eloquent. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I think the one boy, I think I've seen him do. Is it Crunk?
Oh
Like
good,
and I've seen him at certain other events, like youth violence events and stuff like that. So when I seen him, I was like, oh, there's that one. They shut it down. So I really like the fact that you brought everyone together.
It's local as well. You know what I'm saying? Bringing local proper talent. And, do you know what I mean? I could have went to frigging all these other but I think they're sick dancers and they're local, and I'm thinking everyone needs to come together and give that. And as I just said, my next video they're gonna be in it again as well. So
that's good.
A lot of them. I got video coming with Crank and I've had a Flamer, and I've got so many artists that I'm doing tunes with. So
that's good.
This year is just literally full on.
Producers wise, who you working with?
Coatsy is
Coatsy Beats.
Coatsy, man. Coatsy's my guy, bro. Shout out Coatsy, man.
Man, big him up. But about him for his MySpace days, man. He's very well
anything, if you give him anything and he would do it, man. So he's brilliant, man. So there's a lot of artists I want to work with. There's Indigo Marshall and Fox and...
Is that a singer?
Yeah. There's loads in Birmingham. There's loads in Birmingham.
I feel like this is what another thing as well. Obviously, God bless Major. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
do you know
Major
what I mean?
that passed away.
Yeah, man. From its studios, but it highlighted to me by losing such an icon is that he helped so many people on their musical journey. And
people don't understand how much he touched and stuff. I remember me in college going like oxygen rooms and vomit, and he was a big person. Obviously, freaking.
It's kind of like if you wanted to do music in Birmingham, you kind of had not say have the pass, but to go to Major, he's the kind of person he gives you that feedback. He lets you know, like he's one of them very. He's very what was the word? I wouldn't say disciplined, but he was one of them people. He's like, if you don't know your lyrics, don't come here. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's saying the kind of place to come to and mess around. If you come here, make sure you. I
think we need that back, you know, because people go studio. I sometimes go studio just to first hour whatever. But you see me in studio, I'm quite regiment.
Yes,
I'm free with it, but if I'm in studio, I want to get that done.
Yeah.
I want to hear what it sounds like. I want to play it back. I want to get my ad-libs done. I want to get the backings done. I want to get the levels right. I'm not there to just...
around and whatever.
It's not that time, bro.
But he says, he was like, I'm preparing you for when you go into these... You could go to a studio. You know what? You got to pay £80 an hour. If someone's paying £80 an hour, £100 an hour, you can't mess around with that time there. Nah. So you see this as that, just because I'm doing it at a smaller price, I'm still giving you a product that you can go and take it somewhere. So come here, make sure you got your stuff ready.
Mindset, bro.
But he was preparing, man. So now, when I go into studios and I got songs and whatever, I can go in that studio, one take, boom. I was like, you want to do it again? Like, nah, I'm happy with that because I practice that much at home and obviously I don't know about you, but I'm one of them kind of people where a lot of my music has stayed just to myself because I've been so critical, or that backing's a bit off, or that's it, or whatever.
I think as an artist, you have to be. I think you should be the most critical person of your work. Yeah, and I think you should be also the most supportive of your work as well. I think if you don't believe in yourself, as I said, who the hell's going to believe in you? So for me, I think I'm the most... You could be critical, like, oh, I don't like this bit, I don't like that bit. For me, I'm going to be super critical because I can hear every single word, or some words I'm not supposed to, or some words I'm thinking, I didn't say that right, or I didn't do this right, or... Do you know what I'm saying? So I think as an artist... You have to have that critical aspect, but at the same time, believe in your own ability as well.
Yeah, believe that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say it was more of an overthinking.
Okay,
10 people could say, yo, that's hard, but I'm waiting for that person to say that one thing that I think's not hard, and I'll be like, yeah, see, one person's seen it, you know what? But I'm getting to that stage where it's like, you can't sleep on your music, man. And how do you know how people are gonna respond to your music if you don't put it out there? Do you know what I mean? I've got like 4 songs with Major. I'm sitting back That's like listening. I think one of them, I can tell I probably won't do anything with that. But the other three, I'm like, I can do something with that now, even in this climate that we're living in now.
Yeah.
But what stopped me from before not releasing it? Do you know what I mean?
And
It's
I
like,
think, as I said,
doubting myself.
And that's who said that the other day, that self-doubt kills more careers than anything.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that because I swear I've met some talented people, man. Even as I said, I went to college with Leisha. Shout out Leisha. Leisha's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Leisha went to Sims and Breezer, and I went college with Relly C and whatever. Shout out Relly C. So all these artists I definitely want to work with.
Because you was a year above me, wasn't you?
Yeah. Because we went to music college, so we learned the music management side, the business side, production side, vocal training. So it wasn't just like...
Was E&R there as well?
Yeah, Erlen Reese, Berms's Grime.
Yeah.
Big up Berms's Grime.
Man.
Wicked, man. So we know all of them from way back, man. So obviously, friggin', I know JK and... do you know what I mean? Birmingham's got a big platform of artists,
even
man.
like over our bit, over this part, East Birmingham, you know, mate, there's so many artists that I've been able to find, and I'm like... What, if the world heard what you've got, you know what? Like, our scene, we have enough artists and enough talent in Birmingham alone to build our own scene. We don't need to be dependent on London and these big major labels, because you can. Like Bugsy Malone, he's probably one of the most successful independent artists. He's not from London. He's from Manchester. Yeah. But he never chose to sign. He built up his thing. He was releasing on his own channel before anybody was. Okay, and it's only till after we had the little chip thing. So I'm listening to songs. I'm like, yo, nobody knows. Then you got that song, nobody knows. And you're jamming to that song. 3,000 views. After the chip beef, I go back to the song, 50K. A year after, I go back, 100K. Mate, that little EP that he put on his YouTube now, every song has 3 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil, 6 mil, 7 mil. It was just a little tiny EP.
It's the platform,
like a 5-track EP, but he done videos for them all. But all the traffic, they've all gravitated to his old stuff.
Because it goes in, believe in yourself and just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing. And once you believe in yourself, and as I said, it's law of attraction and laws of nature. That's why my songs say Netaru, which means, obviously, in Commission or Egyptian sign, it just means basically the neter, which means nature, and the netaru just lives inside you. So your divinity of nature lives inside yourself. So everyone is connected, and everyone together is netaru. So that means basically you are your own divine presence. So once you believe in yourself, and it's weird, you know, that transition from believing yourself to that doubt, like, I wonder if I can make it as a footballer. I wonder if I can make it as a musician. Stop it. That's what I say to everyone. What if you don't do it, you're not gonna achieve nothing. At least try. Try it, man. At least try. Obviously, as I said, some people are not as talented as others. And as I said, even some rappers, I'm thinking, he's not as good as him, but he might have a better platform or might have a better
work rate.
Yeah.
Or he's willing to drop a video every damn week so that he's in people's faces, and before you know it, they're listening to him, they're endorsing to him.
It's about dream, ambition, and drive. Yeah. Once you got them 3 things, and that's what a wise geezer taught me once. He goes, them 3 things are very important and fundamental for success in anything you do. Yeah. And he said, once you have the dream, you have to have the dream first. Well, you have to envision what you want to do and believe in it. Yeah. Like, I want to do this. This is what. Then you have the ambition. The ambition is you going to studio, having your songs there, doing what you need to do, or going to football training, or going to netball practice, or going to tennis practice, and having that ambition, going to competitions, doing your boxing training, whatever you want to do. The drive is once you put them things out, or have your fights, or have your competitions, or have your football training, or have your whatever. The drive is you consistently doing the same thing and keep going and elevating. Whether you put out 1 track a month, whether you put out 1 track a week, whether you put out 1, but you keep going. That's the only thing that separates from everyone from successful.
Because like when I always use the analogy of Conor McGregor. Do you know what I mean? Soon as after he got that big payout, 100 mil with Mayweather, he found it hard to motivate himself. Do you know what I mean? It's like I started with nothing. Everything that I wanted, I now have.
Yeah.
And then that's why he started going on the tangents and getting
yeah,
drunk
yeah.
and beating up old men and all of that kind of stuff, because it's like
Yeah.
he's got to the pinnacle then. And like he says, I lost the drive. I wasn't going
after?
to the gym no more.
What'd you do
Having
after?
to say,
Yeah.
what you doing, man? Do you know, don't
achieved
lose
it.
the art. Don't lose all of that
Don't
kind of
lose it.
stuff. But once you've achieved 120 mil, and you realise, mate, I don't have to get up and do these grueling routines no more.
I don't have to grapple no more.
Don't
I'm
need to
good.
grapple no more. I can let my ears heal. What more is there for you to do? And that's where you have to push through, and that's where your drive
That's
comes
where
in.
your drive comes from, because bottom line is, as I said, we're all trying to get to a certain point. We all want to be successful. We all want to and I think for me, with your own mind, if you don't want more than you already got, not saying not everything's financial, you know, not everything's material, because I'm not really a material person. Clothes and that, this don't really mean nothing to me at all. Yeah. I think it's your character that for me, because as I said, in prison, that was the only thing that separates you, because whether you got £1 or you got £1 million, you're in the same boat. Yeah. You're just getting off different stops.
Yeah.
But what differentiates you from that person is your character. What are you like? And I said that environment is like it's like brake fluid. You put brake fluid in the car, on the bonnet, it will strip the whole paint. And I think them environments, after a long period of time, you get stripped back your character. You get stripped back. You peel back and you're thinking, that's what you like, really.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So when you see them things and that person's character either evolves and changes into a better person while into a horrible environment, you know that person's a good person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen dads rob their sons and sons rob their dads, and coming out thinking, bro, what's going on here? With like proper weird situations where I'm looking and you think that person is wicked, okay, like you think, best person ever. And I'm not saying every situation defines you, but you get to see the character, who they really are. You're like, okay with you. But as long as you stay true to yourself, I don't think nothing can stop you, really. That's how I look at things.
I think that is a great way to go on to the last question that I wanted to ask you. So as people who will be locked into this can tell, you've got a wealth of knowledge. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm asking everybody that's come onto the show to kind of like share with people if they have any like positive affirmations or quotes that they live by. It could be something cliche, it could be something that you've adopted yourself or thought of yourself. And if you have a few, reel them off.
I've got loads of quotes. But one thing that helped is, obviously I used to read the book, still do, The Secret and Power by Rhonda Byrne. That's actually an ancient book. That's like, she just rewrote the book, Rhonda Byrne did. It's an ancient book written in Sanskrit, which is what the Buddhist or their Buddhist texts use. Because as I said, to be fair, I used to be Buddhist before anything, before I'd done the Commission thing, where I found out religions are man-made and whatever. But we'll get on to the next time.
That could be a next one.
That's a deep subject.
Yeah, that's a part two.
It's a touchy one. It's a touchy one. Because I've had conversations with everyone from different religions, and as I said, I can sit down with anyone and I can show you where religion comes from. But we're going to next time. The one, I think it was page 90, and it's by Martha Washington, the First Lady of the White House, that old woman. And she said, "I'm still determined to be cheerful and happy in whatever situation I may be. For the greater part of our happiness or misery depends on our circumstances, not on our disposition." So I was like, raw.
That one resonated. And
I read it over, and what she's basically saying is, whatever situation you're in, whether it's jail, whether it's rock bottom, whether you got no bread in your fridge, whether you're strung out in life, make yourself happy.
Yes.
Always make yourself happy in whatever situation you'll be, because the greater part of your happiness or your misery, it depends on how you react to situations. It depends on how you are as a person. And your mental attitude to drive yourself out of the madness, and not on your circumstances, because your circumstances are bad. Everyone in this climatized and in this pandemic and environment, everyone is basically at rock bottom. There's only a 1% that are calm. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's financially finding it hard, emotionally finding it hard. The children stressed out and so forth. But I think my greatest lesson that helped me a lot through the years. Just make yourself happy wherever you are. Just make yourself happy, and that's the main thing I carry.
And to touch upon that as well is to make yourself happy within your own environment. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't,
yourself.
You can't depend on other people to make you happy. It starts with yourself.
Starts with
do you know what I mean?
Everyone's looking for, I always say, like, even relationship basis, that person completes me. That person makes me. Bro, I've learned from years ago, bro. If you're in a relationship and you're relying on that person to make you feel a certain way, bro, that is the wrong thing to do, because
it's unhealthy, man.
It's unhealthy. That person should not complete you.
Yeah.
If you are netta, which is nature, you need to complete yourself, because what the mistake people make is they literally rely on someone to prop them up.
Yeah.
You both should have your own entity, your own understanding, your own person, and then grow together. That is how you're supposed to. That's a relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship is not me leaning on you thinking, "Oh, help me." No, no. You help yourself, balance yourself, and then come together and grow. And I think that is what we need to be getting back to our own, like, self-understanding.
That's perfect. The way you've just broke it down. Do you know what I mean? Because when you do that and you're happy, you're depending your happiness on somebody else. Soon as that goes, it's like, boom.
Damn.
What's my purpose? Who am
I?
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
that question, who am I? And that's a spelling itself. You're putting, again, back to self-doubt. You're doubting yourself, so that only brings what thing? Negativity. We don't need no negativity.
Yeah.
We get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's negative energy, bro. You should know who you are, and if you don't know who you are, go for your journey yourself.
But then when you do find yourself in that sense,
then the person attracts to you that is right for you, because your energy, you're both on the same frequency. Then you're on a good frequency, you're on a good frequency, then you can attract each other. If you're waiting for a person to make you feel a certain way, that person can manipulate any situation. And we've seen it. You can make you feel any way you want to feel, but also can drag you down. So when you know yourself,
you feel rock bottom. Mate, that's 100% people. You're gonna see him on this platform again, because I feel like you're gonna need a part 2. This is probably gone on for about an hour and a half, and I still feel like I could just have so much more like dialogue and information from you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I always say, like, especially for you young people that were tuning and stuff like that, like, be a sponge. Do you know what I mean? And when you're hearing like gospel things like this and true life stories and accounts from somebody that's been through something and has turned it around, take heed and take that on. And like I'm saying, he's on a music journey where if you follow his music journey, you're going to learn a hell of a lot more about himself, and you're going to learn about all of the stuff that he's been able to learn as he's reformed his character. Do you know what I mean? I can honestly say that when I heard what I heard, I was shocked. Do you know what I mean? But I never in my mind would think, like, that's it then, you're going to be in and out of jail. Do you know what I mean? I always knew that you were going to come out, bro, and be reformed. You're going to have that chance to sit down.
The word that everyone keeps saying, is rehabilitation. This is what jails. This is mad about prison system, because it's, as I said, it's not there to help you, and I don't get anyone says it's not there to help you. You have to learn yourself. So we're trying to rehabilitate you. Nobody, let me tell you this now, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, nobody can rehabilitate you. That word is for your own aspect, your own entity. The only person who can rehabilitate you is yourself. No system can rehabilitate you, bro. That word is for you. You understand, you reflect, and you rehabilitate yourself. Like you build yourself back up. You rebuilding yourself. That's where the word comes from. You rebuild yourself. How can you rebuild me? You can't rebuild me. I have to rebuild myself. It's from my own understanding. So when we understand that it starts with our own self, our own understanding, our own netaru, our own frequency, we'll be okay then. You know what I mean?
My people, there's nothing much more that else I can say. I've had a great guest with me on today. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate you coming down, my brother. Manners and respect every time. Walk a mile on my cheese podcast. We are out.
Days no longer afraid of the pythons. Give the glory, let me tell my story. Found solutions to my problems, solving all my worries. What I face you can't speak about. Back then, no even now. My prerogative will make you hear me out. Oh Lord, them boy over there moving so fast. Don't make me make a call to my road dogs. I don't have to say you get the picture. Oh, you beg to differ. Anybody sick can take your bed up on some real stuff. So kneel down until your knees rough. Embrace king shot the netaru to kill bluffs. You blinding on one of Charles and taking the differences that develop great.
Who's sicker than me?